Sean Sheehan here for Severe MMA, standing alongside Brent Primus, who headlines you'll see the Bellator 240 here on Saturday night in Dublin. Brent, how are you? I heard you did an interview with my colleague over in Sherdog the other day, and you were talking about coming over to Ireland and things. I know you're obviously supposed to fight Peter Keaney in a huge fight here, and it's obviously costing you a lot of money and stuff to come to Ireland as well. Are you a little bit disappointed having to come over here and not have that carrot of fighting a big Irish guy?
Yeah, a little bit. I was expecting and wanting to fight Peter. He's got a big name and a big following here, and he's Irish, so I was definitely looking forward to that. But I know injuries happen; it's part of the fight game, and I actually contacted him, and I know it's probably humongous and really, really hard for him to back out of that fight, due to an injury or whatever. So, man, my heart goes out to him, and I hope he heals up soon and gets back in there.
Was there any thought of maybe not taking a fight here and trying to get a fight somewhere else, maybe in the States?
No, just because it's been so hard for me to get fights, period. They told me if I don't fight right now, then it could be months and months, and I've already been waiting and waiting, so I was just going to take anybody who they gave me, honestly.
Looking at your record, you've been fighting for 10 years and you've had 10 fights. Yeah. Like, for someone to get to be a Bellator world champion, that's not a lot. Like, is that something that maybe early in your career was a thing that just kind of happened, but now you want to kind of change it as you get to maybe like the prime of your career?
Yeah, man, it's been difficult getting fights, and I've had so many of my opponents get injured and back out, and it just has been really unlucky for me. But I'm like begging and praying that I get 3 fights this year, and I'm talking to my manager in Bellator, so that's like the goal: 3 fights this year, and I just need to stay more active and get more fights, and that's hopefully that will happen.
At the last media here, I was talking to Benson Henderson, who's obviously a champion of the world as well, and talking about kind of building your way back. Obviously, you were the champion, you lost your title. Is that a kind of thing you want to get those 3 fights and get back into that title mix again?
Oh, yeah, of course. I want that title fight next fight, if I can. Like, I know Patricio he's in that tournament, but that's somebody that I know I can beat, and I know he's a tough opponent or a tough champion. He's a good fighter, but I know I can beat him, and I have to make, one step at a time, but, man, I'm ready. I want to fight the best. I want to fight for the title. So, if I have to, come here and fight other guys to make my way there, then, that's what I'm doing. But I really want that title fight or to fight the top guys, Benson, Henderson, Pip, or Chandler, any of those guys, I want for sure.
Obviously, with the change in opponent and the additional costs and stuff, it was not as good maybe as it would have been coming to Ireland. But did you ever think, like, I know you talked in that interview, you're like a pretty rough child coming up and got into, a little bit of trouble and things. Did you ever think at maybe that time that you would be here now headlining card in Ireland?
Oh, no way, man. I was had a crazy life, got kicked out when I was younger and was selling lots and lots of weed, and I had a crazy life, and I just never expected that I'd be where I am at for sure. I thought I was going to become a professional soccer player. That was my life, and just how things happened when I was a kid. But I am truly blessed, and it just shows you what hard work and believing in yourself can do. So I'm definitely proud of myself in some ways for getting out of that lifestyle.
What soccer team do you support? Premier League team?
That would have been awesome, man. That was like my goal for sure. It really.
What team do you support?
Man, I actually haven't really been watching too much soccer the last few years or whatever. I've just been so busy with my just with my family and training and trying to get to where I am. But I used to love Manchester, and
That's the right answer.
Yeah, cool.
They're not as good anymore, but sure, we'll talk about it. Last thing I really appreciate time, Chris Bungard, obviously your opponent coming in, he's a guy who's maybe shocked a few people before. He went into a Terry Brazier fight, maybe wasn't expected to win it and came out with the win. Is that something maybe you're worried about, that this guy can maybe rise to the occasion? It might be a bit of a harder fight than it actually looks on paper.
I don't underestimate anybody, and I'm not going to underestimate him, I know he's a tough guy, and I'm going to go out there and fight him like he's Michael Chandler or Benson Henderson or any of those guys. So I'm definitely not going to underestimate him whatsoever. I know he's tough, and so I'm ready for anything, and I prepared well, and my coaches got me ready, and I'm ready for sure.
Brent, really appreciate the time. Best of luck on Saturday night. Thank you.